So a Rihanna reference right off the bat from Holly Rowe. Here we go. Washington missing so many key players.
Well, guys, I find it interesting that Kalia Copper, who's the top scorer for this the Chicago Sky team, is getting the most difficult defender. Natasha Cloud, week in and week out, guards the best player on the opposing team, and she's picking up.
And so there's a sense of urgency right now for the Mystics.
Dolson out on Charles now. Tina, you knew she wasn't going to stay silent for long.
Washington's coming off of just playing on Friday, getting a win over Atlanta. Chicago's had some days of rest, but they've been short on their outside shot so far.
That's what Natasha Cloud can do. Inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tina got Candace up in the air. Now goes Byer. Here's that matchup. Tina wins that one. Weiss able to get away from trouble. Almost threw the ball away. Tina just spots up and nails it. And she says, thanks, Natasha Cloud.
I mean, they look kind of tight on the offensive end to start this game.
Zealous. Swish.
That's the veteran leadership that you were talking about.
Nice roll by Dolson. Oh, my goodness. They are getting good looks. You're right. Can Washington get another shot off? Zealous. Mitchell. What a finish for Washington. Leilani Mitchell beats the buzzer.
Just don't feel like Chicago's getting the movement in their offense that they want. You have to credit Washington. They're a very physical defensive team.
Tina Charles can't get a field goal.
I don't know what Chicago is in the paint, but they're shooting a very low percentage with 2 feet inside.
Here comes the threes. Chicago has missed 14 straight shots going back to the first quarter. Quigley finally ends the drought.
Good hesitation on the baseline by Quigley. Good patience.
Almost like a wrestling wrap-up under the basket. Nothing called. Quigley. The New York Liberty watching this game today. Huge Chicago Sky fans, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
All right, Quigley doing all the work. Charles against Parker. They're on the W25. Left! Oh, this time. You can't defend that.
The footwork of Tina Charles.
Ever?
Ever.
Wow. High praise indeed. Stevens gets the first field goal from someone not named Allie Quigley for Chicago in over 10 minutes of play. That's nifty, Natasha Cloud. She missed a few games this year with a hurt ankle as well. Did not play last season. Quigley stepping back and getting the tough shot over Mitchell.
Look at Natasha Cloud now guarding Allie Quigley, so a change defensively for Washington.
But on the switch, you got Parker. McCall had 3 jerseys around her, still fought for it. Washington comes up with it. Cloud hits the 3.
Natasha Cloud looks so good to me, you guys. When the season started, remember, she had sat out last year, did not play in the WNBA bubble.
On both ends. That's why they're getting to the free throw line, and that's why Chicago is unable to get the shots that they want.
They'll take that one. Vandersloot with the assist. I know who you think is going to, your pick.
I'll wait to see who Carolyn picks, and then I'll reveal mine in the second half. Outside, and she's been able to get to the rim. Chicago with no answer for her defensively.
Stevens able to sneak inside. I'll correct my correction. Diamond DeShields gives in their first 2 points from the bench. With 3.6 seconds left, Vandersloot inbounds. Parker taking it to Charles, finishes, and got fouled. Shot clock now into single digits. Walker Kimbrough gets the friendly roll. Boy, we talked about it a little bit in the first half, but what a story for Walker Kimbrough. Was on the championship team in 2019.
And something that Holly has talked about is the need for Chicago to attack the paint. That would have been a great possession for Copper to get to the rim. No one can guard her getting to the rack.
Can anybody guard Tina Charles, please? Not good today. Walker-Kimbrough able to get away from DeShields. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough in this quarter.
And those are the kind of buckets she was not making early in her career in this league. But we actually talked about Connecticut, but also Chicago. And Michelle made the point that Connecticut is greater than the sum of their parts, as Chicago does get an offensive rebound and putback. The story goes on and on of player development for Connecticut.
Hebert has a couple of buckets off the bench. Brianna Jones as well. Game against New York, which is huge to say the least, to try to grab that 8th playoff spot. Walker-Kimbrough. Nice assist. That's another thing Tina Charles does well. Yeah, 19, 8, and 4 for Charles. Evans was such a great player. Volleyball player recruited by Penn State, who was a national power. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough with 4 steals. Natasha Cloud, get fancy. Dolson has not scored until that very moment. Evans, that's what she does. Another 20-point game for Tina Charles. Evans. A lot of energy. She's got 7 off the bench. Third quarter, they scored 16 points as a team, only one of them from the starters, and the mass substitution as 5 came in for James Wade. DeShields. Some of the starters are back in. You see Parker, Vandersloot, Stevens, and Charles coming back in and doing what Tina Charles does.
Didn't feel like she was as efficient in that third quarter, but comes right back in. 2 defenders, nice hook shot.
Vandersloot to Stevens, who had to work to get that shot off. Washington trying to get that 8th and final playoff spot. Charles just working hard against Stevens. So the 24 points is the season average for Charles, which leads the league. That was either a walk or a foul. It was a foul. No one has won more games in the history of this league than Mike Tebow as a head coach. Got his 150th with Washington in their last win against Atlanta. Zealous elevates. So Mike Tebow was in charge in Connecticut when the Sun picked Tina Charles out of UConn. Stevens coming alive here in the second half.
I think that's definitely the conversation right now from top to bottom. And even as we spoke to Coach Tebow, and in Dallas, the last game she played in, she took a hard shove in the back, and that can jar you. And it absolutely did for Elena, and that nerve pain going down the leg. We just send our thoughts to Elena, and obviously would love to see her back on the court, but we want to see her healthy.
Chicago making a push. Parker with a little no-looker to Quigley, who somehow got it to go in. Washington's only scored 8 points in this quarter. Charles finally with a nice little hook over Parker. It's been 4 minutes since Washington scored. Quigley has Stevens asking for it in the corner. Good decision.
What a game for Azurá Stevens.
16 points for Stevens is a new season high.
Great denial defense here by Chicago in the half court.
Tina Charles. Azurá Stevens has 12 points in this quarter. Washington as a team gets another victory. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. Quigley's 3-point shot has been off this afternoon. And the Washington Mystics up by as many as 18. Chicago cut it to 2, but Washington with a strong finish. Mike Tebow